Hello, here is the last cosmonaut at the start of round 6. To recapitulate the enemy's movements in the meantime, he brought up one infantry unit, one militia unit here from the area covered by the fog of war over here. And his fighter plane, as we anticipated, withdrew to the airfield over here. I'm going to take this fighter back to our airfield so that we can repair him, basically. See how far that reconnaissance plane goes? Not very far. So what we're going to do is try to explore this area here with our fighter plane, even though it does carry the risk that they may have anti-aircraft installations. No, they do not. That will make our job of taking down their fighter, who has landed on the airfield there, easier. Now back here, we're slowly chipping away at the enemy entrenched in that. Well, actually, there's not even any fortification animations, so I guess he's not even entrenched. Point being, slowly chip away at him. In fact, if we can, I would like to send some heavy infantry to his assistance. No, we can't. Well, it's going to move forward with. This unit isn't even motorized. We'll have to do that in the next round. These are motorized on the other end. Yes. So I would be surprised if there weren't enemies there too. Go. And they have some cavalry here. So in Shasheng, I don't know how it's pronounced, we will have to deal with a total of 3 units. One which is a regular infantry division, one which is a militia division, one which we cannot, which we haven't identified yet. It's a regular infantry division as well. Okay, I think our tank will survive there for a little while, but all the same we should move the other units up. No, he's not ready to fly a distance yet. Let's see how our cavalry... Well, they would be doing quite well, actually. So would they. So perhaps what we're going to do is, again, instead of attacking the units entrenched there, we're going to use our artillery to attack this unit. As I was saying about the endurance, or the how quickly artillery exhausts in the last round, as you can see, it's true it was shot at once by mortar fire, but simply because he has been firing at enemies every round since he was deployed in that area, his efficiency is going down, as you can see by the number turning, his hit points turning yellow. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out this infantry here, so that we can occupy that tile, at which point, for example, our light tank here will have the benefit of support, infantry support when it attacks. In order to achieve that, well, since we already have cavalry there, let's just clear out those guys so that they can't easily engage our infantry there. And since it's so opportune, we could actually maybe force that unit to retreat. Yep, they're retreating. Wonderful. So, this infantry unit here is spared another round. Did we move everybody? Actually, we could. No, I was hoping that we would drive them away. We didn't. And in the north, still no attack. Now we reinforced. That's annoying. we will have to. We will need specifically the mortar fire to really get them out of there. Imagine he's going to fill the gap he created up there further north with the militia unit he brought up from the rear. Didn't see those. So it's 2 infantry divisions, 2 militia divisions, and 1 cavalry division that we're facing here. They got their fighter back up. Wonderful. That means that we will be able to take him down like this. And we did. And our reward is a commander who reinforces the unit you attach to him and has a sort of boost that radiates like an aura around him. Let us, however, I expect that our tactical bomber will be operating closer to the enemy for most of the time, so I decided to assign him to the tactical bomber. Let's go forward. We got heavy infantry there. Open fire on them, and maybe now we can. Yeah, we took the town. Wonderful. Okay. Let's motorize these guys. There we go. Since after we have secured the railroad, we will have quite some area. We will have some distance to cover before we can also secure the rest of the province. So back into the action. Let's move them there. Since it costs us nothing. Oh, that did incur more losses than I wanted to. Let's leave those guys alone for now, and instead just keep firing on the militia unit in order to get their numerical superiority down here over here. Now, as for the artillery. Okay, so that expands their range to cover our troops, but that's not really what we want. Let's move all the way forward with them. It doesn't have any heavy infantry units there, so he can't bombard us with mortar fire. So they should be safe. Now, in the north. He didn't stop that gap. But on the other hand, I'm reluctant to move into it, really. I think it would be better if we took care of this unit first. Maybe do so in a methodical way, so let's first boost all these units. Or reinforce them, rather. While we keep them. And I think we're going to give our artillery unit in the north a rest after that. These guys, just entrenched, nothing to do. Well, I guess we don't have so many rounds to spare anymore, so let us begin weakening them, or at least attacking them now. And move our reconnaissance plane further up north. Oh, we have anti-aircraft installations there. What they... Going to move the plane here to see if there are any other enemies lying in wait along the western roads. And that's it. For a moment I was afraid that the regular infantry division there would attack the other our troops there, facing off the militia, which would probably force them to retreat. Oh, instead it's our cavalry that's getting beat up. Well, it's no match for their cavalry unit. Now... Alright, let's pull them back a bit and reinforce them. Ah, wonderful, that defeated them. We'll force them to retreat. We're going to move in there with our infantry. Continue to take them into retreat. Now, if our tank is on the bridge there, especially the light tank here, I think that would severely expose us to whoever's holding. Whoever's holding that town there. But on the other hand, if we move it there, we can annihilate, destroy that infantry division for good. They don't pose a threat as such, but even the weakest unit can shift the front line. That's these red and blue lines you see, and cut us off from supplies, which, as you guess, severely weakens the fighting capacity of our troops. So, when you have the opportunity, just clean up enemy units. This division isn't motorized either. Oh. All we needed was one more command point to be able to host, or to deploy another motorized unit here. So... Tactical bombings. Well, not in this round, in the next one. Again, ignoring the guys in the town itself, and chipping away at the troops surrounding them, including with artillery. The tank needs a little bit of a rest too, actually. And let's not forget to repair our fighter. And since we took down their plane here, there's no reason to keep the fighter in the air there, so slowly we're going to come back to the airfield as well. And that concludes that round. Would have expected their militia unit would conduct an attack as well. Just keep reinforcing. Yeah. Just and on them. I'm not going to move our tank. Oh, actually we could. Yeah, let's do that. Which, provided he doesn't move this unit, will allow us to destroy that unit as well. As I said, you have to clean up. Oh, this is beautiful. Provided, of course, they don't cross the river here or somewhere along that area, or mount their western attack along this road here. They don't seem to. Bit worried about the anti-tank gun there. I'm sorry, the noisy cat is back. Once again disagreeing with our strategy. He's such a help. Well, what can you do? It's summer. He's feeling very particularly full of love lately. Yeah, let's just the cavalry annoys me. Any unit stationed in mountains annoys me, really. Well, now that hasn't necessarily improved the situation. Let's just lower the fighting strength of that infantry division there. Infantry up there. And end our turn. Units a lot. Which makes sense. His After all, his the AI's strategy here is simply to hold us back. And since there is a timer in the form of the limited amount of rounds we have at our disposal, giving us constantly confronting us with fresh units, which slows our progress down, since we can't gain as much ground as we would like. Seems like a sound way to proceed. It's just, well, let's be honest. It's the second mission, and it's an AI. So the challenge as such isn't so immense anyway. Though it is kind of unfortunate for that militia unit, because they are poorly equipped, really. To resist the bombardment by 2 artillery pieces and 2 mortar attacks. And a tank now on top of all of it. I believe we still have a turn. Well, since we're pummeling that militia unit, let's continue. Is any damage? Yes, one pip of health of hit points. What are our infantry? What are the odds against... no, we're not going to be using that infantry to attack the cavalry. So instead, let's move the cavalry there. Destroy that unit. Bring the artillery closer. We're not going to focus on pushing further south just yet, which we would be if we attacked that cavalry unit there. Let's do more decimation instead. If we had an engineering unit with us, we could build a bridge somewhere here. Maybe even there. Oh well. Let's not forget to keep repairing our fighter. And get another fighter back to base before he runs out of fuel and just drops out of the sky. Still no western attack. Honestly, I would like to reallocate that heavy infantry unit to the south, but this western attack they told us about at the beginning, when is it going to happen? At any rate, those were the 5 rounds we'll be playing this time around. Catch you next time.